Hey guys, we're back with Chaos Child. Last time, like, I don't even know what happened. Like, in my head, honestly, I've already beaten the common realm. Like, I think I've gotten everything I need out of it. Xeric is not real. What else do we want? Right? Like, now we're just going through the motions. Oh yeah, cool climax. But like, in my head, I'm already done. We beat it. We beat Chaos Child, the common realm.
では最後に神聖の町渋谷のますますの発展を願い開催の言葉とさせていただきます。皆様ご協力のほどよろしくお願いいたします。
Let's go! Yeah! November 6, 2015, 9 a.m. The second Shibuya Peace and Restoration Festival had begun. The people gathered in front of Hikariwo began to loudly applaud when the mayor finished his speech. Then they started to split off to visit the concerts and stalls that they wanted to go see. Over 80% of the people here had come from outside of Shibuya. Many were from Tokyo, others had come all the way from outside the country to witness the celebration. There were easily more than 100,000 people attending. The first festival was held last year to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the reconstruction. The whole world had come out to celebrate. A similar event had been done a year after the earthquake, but less of a festival, more of a memorial. The rebuilding work was proceeding at a feverish pitch, but at that point it was still too early to call it a city reborn. But last year, even though there were still areas that were covered in rubble, the 5th year anniversary, the prospect of the tax revenue that would come along with it, oh money, was enough to get the government to hold a festival for the whole ward. Despite being only a one-day event, it attracted over 80,000 people and worldwide attention. And such a big success for the year, the city had put even more effort into it. The concerts were bigger, and there were more places to eat and drink. The main areas were centered around the Hikariwo building, as well as the Shibuya Cultural Hall, Shibuya's 107 building, the Shibuya Sign City. All the main roads around the station are closed to any traffic that wasn't bringing in people or equipment to the festival. That and that were overflowing with the performers and stalls. Of course, those places. We know those places, right? They're in Persona, probably. The reporter with Tokyo Next TV saw the cameraman nod and looked at the scene in front of her. The whole thing was stupid. She could tell she was getting tired. You could tell? Or she could tell? She could tell she was getting tired. From her perspective. Center Guy. One of Shibuya's busiest shopping streets. The street always had a lot of young people to begin with. Now with the festival, it's covered with stalls to visit, filled with people of all ages. Finally, from her perspective. When she's been given the job of reporting at the Shibuya Reconstruction Festival several months ago, she literally jumped for joy. The reason she was so excited was the vocalist was one of her favorite bands, Takayanagi Momone, gonna perform on, hold on, BNDV Chaos Head, is that, hold on, is characters, no, Kishimoto Ayase, FES, yeah, she's a big fan of Persona 2. Well, Persona 3 actually, not Persona 2, Persona as well. Ever since she happened to hear Takayanagi's voice at a concert hall, she'd been a fan, perhaps a dedicated believer. The second murder wasn't like a professional singer, right? She was willing to do whatever it took to get a camera to her performance at the Restoration Festival, so that the whole world could see how wonderful she was. But oh, okay. What's her? She'd been caught up in the return of the new generation madness and now there's barely any point in covering the Restoration Festival. She still had to smile and obey when her boss told her to come. In the end, she'd wanted to believe that a big TV station would be better than this. What she was doing was little better than rubbernecking. What's rubbernecking? I've not heard that term before. Turn one's head to stare at something in a foolish manner. Person who rubberneck. Okay. Cameraman pointed at a group of people wearing homemade shirts. Hers had a white print background with a photo on the front, big red question mark that covered the photo. Well, ... question mark, sorry. They were all young, just like all the others she'd interviewed so far. She covered her annoyance with the same smile she used to deal with her obnoxious boss. But she pushed through the crowd and got close to the group.
Konnichiwa.
One that sucks. Who cares, she thought to herself, but she told them she was with Tokyo Next. Tokyo Next? I love that one. He pulled on his t-shirt to show her. The photo in the center was two fat male faces, sumo sticker.
テレビ来てるってことはやっぱマジなんすかスイポの情報
何ですかそれ
She played dumb and acted surprised. She certainly couldn't tell them that she'd come here because of a rumor on Tweepo, especially one that was almost certainly a lie.
宮代がここで自殺するって噂が流れてんすよ
Wonder if that's actually how the common art's going to end. I still think it's going to be like a bittersweet ending, not a bad one. She knew about that. Before dawn, it was supposed to happen in front of the big TVs. 2 hours ago, it was next to the statue of Hachiko in front of the station.
宮代ってあの指名手配になっている宮代拓くんですか
You know what he means.
画像ありますよ
He's trying to fiddle with his smartphone. What? You know, he doesn't have an NFT. No. Don't let him. He cannot have the NFT. Seemingly oblivious to the fact that she hadn't asked to see it. It's the same picture of Takuro that she's already sick of seeing. According to her boss, it's from a student handbook. Okay, good. That's
こんなもの
fungible.
どうして持ってるんですか
ネット見てないんすかみんな持ってますよ
俺らマジで懸賞金狙ってますから
A reward. Come to think of it, there's a fake rumor about that going on.
その T シャツはご自分で作られたんですか
まさかさっき300円で買ったんすよ
They're profiting off his face?
ネタ
Well, the sumo sticker. That's capitalism for you. They all just started to laugh, though she didn't get the joke. She could feel herself getting more and more aggravated. She'd seen similar shirts and placards. Even some were declaring Takuro a god and glorifying the sumo stickers. Some of them were being sold as part of a movement to get rid of the sumo stickers so people could focus on the festival, but most people were just wearing them to be part of the chaos. Of course, this is the first time she'd seen anyone who actually believed in the reward.
宮代拓くんについてどう思いますか
調子こいてますね連続殺人しかも同じ施設のやつもでしょ何やってもいいと思ってんすよこいつ
I mean, given what he knows, that's fair.
こいつのこと神とか言ってるオタク連中マジキモくないっすか
Not until the
俺ら
true
そ
ending.
ういうの許せないんすよ
He'll ascend to God and like kill the other god or something. She ignored most of what they were saying. There's no need to go any deeper. As long as she had footage on her camera, that'd be good enough.
でも
But everyone seemed to think that Takuyo's the killer. At least everyone who'd come to the festival to find him seemed to think so. They were probably right. The official announcement just said that he was wanted as a person of interest. But if he wasn't the killer, they wouldn't have used his real name. She'd also heard that they were in fact looking for him as a suspect, though she didn't know where the information had come from.
宮代拓ニュージェネレーションの狂気の再来の犯人
She suddenly felt a rage building inside her. There's no way she could do what she'd originally set out to do now. Angel with the heavenly voice was dead. There's one reason to participate in this festival. Oh.
そうだ噂話でも何でもいい宮代の目撃情報をどうにかしてかき集めてわかりやすく
Reporter is the final boss. If he wanted to kill himself in public, he was probably some kind of sick madman. If he pulled it off, even more idiots might start worshipping. That's probably just what he wanted. She wouldn't let that happen. That wouldn't atone for her murder at all. He deserved a miserable, painful death, preferably with people throwing rocks at him like an old historical drama.
ちょっとどうしたの
Only then did she realize that the people in front of her had stopped talking. She said thank you and went to go find another person to interview.
そうだすいません最後に一つ
She suddenly stopped, asked the group one last question she thought of before they disappeared into the crowd.
今日はどちらから
埼玉っすよ。チャリで来ました。
Then they laughed again, but she still didn't get the joke. That's a One Punch Man. It's also a place, but... A phone call! Hold on. It was a dang old robot. This time she turned around without thanking them and walked off into the busy street. She could tell her cameraman looked confused. He didn't seem to understand the meaning of her question. They were from Saitama, that means they weren't from Shibuya. From the look of it, they weren't victims of the earthquake either. People who had nothing to do with the Shibuya earthquake were here looking for Miyashi. So were the victims of the earthquake she interviewed a while ago, were hoping that the Restoration Festival would be a success. So were the people with a grudge to bear against her.
出てこい宮代
Her thoughts are never going to be heard on TV. The people nearby couldn't hear them. They were shared by a vast majority of the people at the Restoration Festival. Whenever she saw someone wearing a sumo sticker on their clothes, she figured they were after Miyashio. When she went to interview them, she found that she was right. But in fact, the news that Miyashio was going to kill himself in front of the crowd had been playing on TV every hour since the previous night. Because of that, over 98% of the people at the Restoration Festival had heard it. There's literally no place safe for him in the city. Except, you know, his house. Dot dot dot. The words made me sick, so I turned off the TV. I realized that the skin of my soles and my feet were starting to rub off. It was unclenched my toes. I felt like if I didn't keep some part of my body tensed up, I'd scream and started smashing things. I always hated outsiders who never cared about the actual people caught up in something. This time it was different. Who exactly is a son of a not nice lady, pardon my French? Dang it! You don't know anything! You don't understand anything. Don't know anything? Keep your dang mouth shut! I wasn't the one who killed Nono or Yui. Tsuruka had been sitting in her chair, barely moving. She seemed to be staring at a spot on the wall, just waiting for time to pass. Hey, Uki, what's up? Oh, Kazuki, what? You're here. You're relevant to the story. Oh, she's not. I can't wait for Kazuki's route where it actually reveals she's been like what's the mastermind, but like the puppet master helping us this whole time, and we never even realized it. You're not supposed to come in here. Suddenly shut my mouth. Uki and Kazuki were both looking at Serika. Their hands are shaking, either with fear or suppressed rage, maybe both. Where's Shinjo-san and Yuto?
Shinjo-sanは今電話を。Yuto-kunはお薬を飲んで私の部屋で眠ってます。
I see. I was glad he was asleep. We saw the person who killed his sisters. Probably wouldn't be able to handle it. He's still in elementary school after. Two of them were staring at Serika, unmoving. Serika didn't move either. But...
本当だ。
Question mark? At some point, Serika turned away from the wall to look at them.
クルス・ノノを殺したのは私だよ。山添雨季、和樹花。
Wait! Kazuki can talk through Serika now! Or maybe there's nothing going on in her brain. We're not really for sure of that yet. Their expression suddenly changed. Serika must have read their thoughts. They took a few steps back and shivered.
他のすべての事件もあなたなんですか？そうだ。
Her inability to speak has to do something with whatever her gigalomaniac power is, because obviously she's a gigalomaniac. It's not like I hit my mic. Every other heroine except for her is just gonna be one, except for her. It's chaos and everyone is a gigalomaniac. If they're a cute anime girl, gigalomaniac. They're wondering if she needed to be quiet when her power awakened, and that caused her to be unable to talk at all.
どうして？いえ、だったら。
Like, can a power just be a pure debuff? Should probably get something in exchange, though. It wouldn't be chuny if it was just a debuff. Serika's voice was calm, but Uki's was small and shaky.
私がいた場所のこと何か知ってるんですよね。私がお世話をしていた皆さんは今どこに？
That's a good question. What if they never existed and Uki just made them herself?
さあな、私には答えてください。お願いです。あなたがすべての犯人なら知っているはずです。
Like, everyone except the old woman is just like a delusion that Uki made real. Suddenly realized why Uki wouldn't back down. That's right. Uki didn't know about Dad yet. I hadn't had the time to tell her. And Uki really looked up to him. Probably get that out of the way now before, she becomes a hostage or something. Uki was extremely shy, and it was Nono and Dad who'd given her a place here. Seems she'd always found her meaning in life through helping others, so doctors must have been people she really looked up to. I can't tell her.
Serika!
Well, you're making the logical choice, but maybe some emotional attack would be good? I jumped out of my chair.
お前なら佐久間の正体に気づける可能性があったんだがな。
Oh.
おそらく6年前に会っているはずだ。
何の話を。
まあ、あんな状況では無理かもしれないが、佐久間は。
A nice guy! I said stop! Oh. The Serica abuse arc continues. As I screamed, I hit her with my power without even thinking about it. Slammed her off her chair and onto the floor. Then I walked over and grabbed her by the hair. Never been this violent with a girl before. Is this self-abuse? Or you could hear Uki and Kazuki gasping at the change in me. Look at me. Grabbed her by the hair to make her look me right in the eye. Enough of this stuff. Oh, he could just think. He doesn't even have to say it. Don't you dare destroy any more of my family. Looked at her, mustering all the rage I could in my mind. She should have been able to tell how angry I was. Serica must have felt my anger. Maybe it hurt where I grabbed her hair, because her face twisted a little in pain.
Takuru-san!
Looked back and saw Uki staring at Serica with wide eyes. Kazuki looked sad too.
もうやめてください。いくら尾上さんがその悪い人でもタクルさんがそんな怖いことするの見たくないです。
Bad person might be an understatement here, but yeah, you're right. But Kazuki noises. We've missed those. I let go of Serica's hair. She ran her hand through it violently to try to get it back into place.
タクルさん、先生はどうしたんですか？今どこにいるんですか？
You retired?
それに新庄さんが突然荷物をまとめろって、それと何か関係あるんですか？
Are they taking Yuto with them or just ditching him here? Well, there are tears in Uki's eyes. Couldn't bring myself to tell her the truth. Serica strode up. Then she grabbed her stomach again for some reason. There's blood on her hands. It's from where Dad said he cut her. Come to think of it, her wound looked like it had opened when I used my powers on her back at Fuji. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dang it! Tender Uki looked like she was on the verge of breaking down in tears. Tell you what happened later. Promise. Go get your stuff together, Uki.
でも、
Uki looked like she wanted to ask more questions. Kazuki grabbed her hand firmly and shook her head. Then she pushed her gently on the shoulder and led her out of the room. Put things in my mind for Kazuki's kindness. As soon as I heard the two of them start to quietly pack up in Uki's room, I invited Serica downstairs. Follow me. What, is he gonna patch her up? Just do it. Oh, what's the question mark? She can read his mind. Oh? When I went inside the examination room, didn't see Kunosato or Arimura. Oh, they're having a fight on a rooftop somewhere. That's strange. Thought they'd still be here.
外科用の設備などここにはないだろう。
Serica must have already read my mind. Better than just a first aid kit. No note said that Dad used to be a brain surgeon. He'd done operations on patients during the Shibuya earthquake. She said that even now, there's still patients who said that he'd saved their lives. Dad was... He was a good doctor. People in the neighborhood loved him. He drank too much, he could be a little lazy. He was a man who found his life's work in helping others. He was a man I really respected. So why? First, I hadn't believed he could betray us. But as time passed, I started to seem more and more real. No, knew it was pathetic, but I almost started to cry. I tried to take my mind off it by going through the shelves, which were filled with gauze and drugs. It's gauze, right? Gaze? I think it's gauze. All the medicine bottles had neat labels in Nono's handwriting. I saw them, and we want to cry even more.
違うな。
Question mark?
佐久間は相手の思考を誘導するという最悪な力を手に入れ、それを楽しんでいる人間だ。なのに、表向きはいい医者を演じていた。
I think it'd be better if they made him like more multifaceted. But I mean, how do you make a guy that mind controls and kills orphans, you know, multifaceted? Erica lifted up her skirt and showed me her stomach. Her skirt? Shirt? Shirt? That's her shirt. Also, I don't think we can put that on YouTube. It's too lewd, don't look. Also, Jesus. That's bad. That's covered with packing tape that had been stained dark red. It was wound poorly and far too tight.
佐久間は以前、私が傷の応急処置にガムテープを使っているのを見て笑っていたよ。やるじゃねえか、と意味のわからないことを言ってな。お前は2番目の事件を覚えているか？ストリートミュージシャンの高柳が殺された事件だ。
I may have heard of that one, yeah. Yeah.
腹が裂かれてスピーカーが埋め込まれていた。あの時、思考誘導された高柳が止血に使ったのがやはりガムテープだ。
Oh, that's where she got the idea.
思考誘導された高柳が裂いた腹をガムテープで処置しているのを見た。なぜそんなことをさせているのか、あいつに尋ねたが、あいつはこう言った。
お前に似てるだろ？人形みたいで面白いじゃねえか。
He might not be a nice guy. You can imagine his tone and his voice. But all the hairs on my body stand up on end.
私は佐久間の思考を読んだ。何を考えてそんな言葉が出てくるのか知らなければと思った。
Wait, is the uniform like a one-piece, like dress? Is it not like a... like... Why is she pulling her skirt up too, is what I'm asking. Serika gave a deep sigh, letting out something that was building up inside her.
あいつは言葉以上のことを考えていなかった。頭の中ではただ
Epic meme.
面白いという声だけが反響していた。
I don't really get it. Like, do you tape dolls? I've never heard of that.
あいつは異常だ。よく快楽殺人と言われるものがあるが、それですらない。自分にとって面白いかどうかだけが重要で、その行為が殺人かどうかにさえ興味がないんだ。
The anime has too many like adult serial killers who act all kind of funny and are kind of the butt monkey, you know, they're the butt of all the jokes, and then actually they're like psychopathic killers. There's too many of those. We gotta cut down on all of those, okay? You can do better.
あいつに気持ちを寄せるな。理解しようとするな。優しい父親だったという思い込みを捨てろ。
Like, that is genuinely one of the reasons I started to suspect Ito. It was when we pushed him in the morgue into the dead body like cat locker. That's like, oh, that's what we do to a killer. And that's really the same reason. One of the reasons I started to suspect Sakuma is when he was being bullied at the dining table, like they were eating dinner or something. No one knew we were taking it out on him. I was like, yeah, he's a killer. There's just too many of those.
違う。お前はまだ佐久間に対して何かを期待している。でも、あいつにとっては、食後のお前たちとの談笑も、残虐な殺人も同じことなんだぞ。
Said I know that. Couldn't tell how my confused thoughts appeared to Serika, because I truly didn't know how I felt myself. Dad was trying to join some organization called the Committee. That's why he was going to kill me and put an end to the case. I was tired of hearing. No way I could take in all this so quickly. Just 10 hours ago, Dad was Dad, the lazy guy who drank too much. The doctor everybody loved. Without another word, Serika began to tear off the packing tape in a disorderly manner.
ここは外科じゃないからな。手術道具が置いてあるとは思えない。それより、奥の机の一番下の引き出しを見てくれ。
What?
クルス・ノノがよく使っていた机だ。そこに裁縫道具が入っているだろ。
Crusoe had indeed kept sewing tools in there to patch the buttons back onto Dad's white coat. She learned that by reading Crusoe's mind? I was angry, but I did what she said anyway. There's a bag filled with sewing tools there, like always. gave them to Serica. She grabbed a needle and thread at random, disinfected them, and started to wordlessly sew up her own stomach. Seeing the sewing needle stick into Serica's pale white skin was worse than seeing the wound itself. She showed no hesitation and no sign of being. She's gonna leave the tape on? What kind of life is she? Her eyes suddenly met. Forced myself to think of something else before she could answer my question. Where did Dad want us to go? Serica finished her stitches and tore off the end of the thread.
すべての始まりとなった場所。その始まりの時刻に来いと言っていただろう。
わかんねえか今回の事件。
Yeah.
そう、そこだよ。ついでに。
That's what he said. The place where everything began?
お前や久野里が考えた通り、元凶は渋谷自身にある。
Noah Lord incoming?
あれは、とある装置が爆発したせいで引き起こされたものだ。そして、お前たちが発生因子と呼んでいるもの。実際は、ある特殊な電磁波だが、それが拡散されてしまった。
Wait, are we gonna get Garrow Froggy lore?
それによ
Mention
っ
the Garrow
て
Froggy.
望まれない能力者が覚醒することになった。
So the conspiracy theory that the Shibuya earthquake was caused artificially was true?
そういうことになるな。お前たちもフリージアで話していたが、その装置はかつて渋谷駅前のプラネタリウムに密かに設置されていた。
Why is it 3D? Could have thought it would have been the one to tell me that. Some company bought out the planetarium and used it to do experiments. That's where Hikariwo is now, right?
そう。だが、ヒカリオの中にかつてのプラネタリウムの DNA を引き継ぐというコンセプトのもと
DNA?
新たに建造された施設がある。それがシアターキューブだよ。
Cube? Huh? Pronounce that cube? The theater cube. A huge theater located inside of the Hikari world. Has this been mentioned at all? It was used for musicals and famous performance groups for both inside and outside Japan. I wonder if it's a real thing. The largest part of the Hikari World building, one of its most popular attractions. So it was modeled after the old planetarium? Come to think of it, they I'd gone there just once before. There's a foreign musical playing. Hamilton? Remember? Oh no, this is 2015, isn't it? No Hamilton yet. Remember being amazed at the size of the place and the luxurious design. What I remember best was the faces of the people I'd gone with. Yui, Yuto, Nono, and Dan. I think it was to celebrate Nono and I making it to Hekio Academy. We'd made it into Hekiho, which offered free tuition for earthquake orphans. Dad had joked, this frees up a lot of cash, about his expensive front row seats. Nono got mad at him, told him he was wasting money. Thinking back, that's the first time the five of us had ever gone anywhere as a family. It was a memory I had treasured. But why did Dad choose a place like that? Oh no, you closed your eyes for a moment.
おそらくはお前だ、宮代拓。
He knew you loved Hamilton. Me?
今回の復興祭、ヒカリオはその中心の役割を担っていて、大勢の人間が集まっている。
Yeah.
あいつは声明通り、お前を衆目の中、自殺に見せかけて。
It's a cool place for a
殺すつもりだろ。
climax. A theater stage in front of a bunch of people. Using his mind control, she could.
それに、復興祭の昼のイベントさえ終わってしまえば、夜の劇場は巨大な無人スペースになる。万一、ディソードで切り合う羽目になっても、人目を避けられる。始まりの場所に来い、などと大行なことを言っていたが、あいつが何の意図もなく場所と時間を指定するはずがない。
Checks out. Means the time is.
午後10時28分。
Oh, that's specific? Never forget that time. This is exactly when the Shibuya earthquake had struck.
午後10時28分をもって復興祭の雰囲気は一変する。それまでのお祭り騒ぎから参加者全員が黙祷を捧げ、渋谷は静寂に包まれる。そんな中、自殺の声明を出したお前が登場するわけだ。どうなるか想像がつくだろう。
They'll all forgive me, right? Right, guys? I'm sorry.
あのクズめ。
This is disgust in her words. It wasn't rage. Sounded like she was suffering somehow. Why, Sari? You're that angry? You're in that much pain? Why did he do what he told you to?
何度も言っている。私を生み出した時のことは覚えているだろう。
Yeah, you killed No. I don't care about your motive. Oh, no way. Serica, save me. Please. Well, I mean, No could still be alive. It's possible. No, wait, please. Give me.
あの時、お前は自らの生存を助けてくれる私を望んだ。私はそのようにして生まれた。それ以外に優先させる目的など私には存在しない。そのために他のすべてを捨ててきた。お前に生み出されたあの瞬間から私はそうやって生きてきたんだ。いや、そう生きることを与えられて私は生まれたんだ。お前を生かすためであれば、相手が佐久間だろうと誰だろうと黙って従う。
Okay, but like, couldn't you keep No alive too? I couldn't speak. What Serica says is true. The real cause behind all of this is...
責任を感じる必要はないぞ、宮代拓。
I shuddered reflexively as she read my mind.
お前はこれまで何も知らなかった。ギガロマニアックスのことも、その存在の裏で暗躍する連中がいることも。だから、これはお前のせいじゃない。
The feelings that were hurting me deep inside my heart came boiling up. Are you okay with that? I forced myself to speak the words. Are you really okay with that? That's right. Even if I was the one who created you, even if I did give you a reason to live, you killed Yui and No. That wasn't what I had wished for. Kind and gentle Serica I knew ever since I was a kid would never wish for that either. Had to keep me alive? Even if it meant losing No and Yui? Even if it meant killing them? That wasn't what the two of us wished for. You really are willing to give up everything just for the sake of the goal you were given? You're not human at all. You really are just like a doll. Serica remained motionless, likely accepting all the thoughts and feelings that shot in her direction. All she did was silently meet my gaze with her.
そろそろ行く。
Okay, bye. Serica was the first to break the silence. She tossed away the old packing tape, used the gauze she'd put on her wounds, remaining fresh bandages into the trash, and adjusted her clothes.
渋谷から出た後はしばらくはおとなしくしていろ。取るべき行動は久里美代が指示してくれるだろ
う。We're totally gonna follow her, right? She headed for the door of the examination room. She wasn't looking at me anymore. Put her hand on the doorknob. Without looking back, she told me.
夜までここにいるつもりだったが、山添雨季の能力が割と厄介だ。今余計なことをされると困る。それに、お前の心変わりが起きても困るしな。
What? Before I could say anything, the door opened. He's so following her. She just told him where to go. Shinjo-san was standing there. Wasn't sure how long he had been there for. He looked down at Serica, seemingly trying to keep his emotions in.
なるほど。迷っているのか。
君は殺人犯だ。
True. Booker, boys. He blocked Serica's path as he spoke.
どんな事情があるにせよ。そしてその事情が常識で測れないものであっても、殺人は殺人だ。法によって。
そうだろうな。
Serica's voice was calm.
それに今回の事件は尊敬していた先輩の弔い合戦でもある。
Is that the first time Bond's been mentioned since like the beginning? The two of them stood facing each other. The air was thick with tension between them. They stood like that for almost a full minute. Couldn't see Serica's face from here. Shinjo-san's expression seemed to waver once in a while. Probably knew that Serica was reading his mind, so he was likely thinking of all the things he wanted her to do. Felt like there's a silent but intense discussion going on between them. What if it turns out Bond was actually alive the whole time and hiding? He's been waiting to arrest the real culprit. Eventually, Shinjo-san sighed a little. He moved to the side with a pained expression on his face.
いいんだな。
復興祭が終わった後、上層部からどんな圧力がかかってこようと、俺は君と佐久間を追う。どこへ逃げようとな。
お前が追うのは一人で済む。生き残るのは私か佐久間のどちらかだけだ。
It's not gonna be Serika. Well, I mean, I don't know how the Commandant's gonna end. I don't know. She went on to walk out of the room at a pace which belied her injury.
宮代拓。
She stopped. Without looking back, she said,
生き残れよ。何があっても。お前だけは生き残れ。
Well, I mean, but I could have a cool anime main character moment. And then she disappeared. Keep going?
あまり思い詰めるなよ。
About what?
いや、
Going after her? He scratched his head, took the time and frowned.
警察は厳戒態勢で復興祭の警備に当たっている。俺もこの後、一旦ここを離れなくちゃいけない。その間、代わりの警官が来る。そうだな。ウキ君の部屋に隠れているといい。君がいるとは思ってないから、探しはしないはずだ。
Let's hope he's incompetent, he's not like that one guy from Chaos said. Okay.
おそらく戻りは夜になる。そのタイミングで渋谷を離れよう。準備をしておいてくれ。
Alright. I answered him, but my body wouldn't move. My hands were clenched tight. I hadn't even realized. I felt so frustrated, so angry and disgusted with myself. All these horrible things were going on around me. Someone else had already decided how I was going to escape them. I'd done nothing at all. Shinjo seemed to be about to say something else, but instead he left the room silently. The clock said it was past 10 a.m. I was supposed to get ready to leave Shibuya, but I couldn't leave Alba dorm right now, so most of the stuff in my room was already taken by the police. There wasn't much for me to do. What? Oh, don't tell me they got the cool cat press magazines. Why am I even leaving Shibuya anyway? Might just be to avoid the warrant. It's clear from the way Serika and Kunosato were talking, there's probably another reason. Something that had to do with us sidekicks. Something that had to do with Kanga's child. Quickly closed my eyes and shook my head. Don't try to find out. Remember your promise to no. We already learned what happens when you try to find out about things you're not supposed to, right?
尾上は言ったな。
Huh? Looked up and saw Kunosato and Arimori by the door. Where were you guys? Were they eavesdropping too? How long have you been here? Stay at the front desk next to the examination room the whole
尾
time?
上に思考洞察されたくなかったのでな。とっさに有村と逃げ込んだ。
But did she need to see someone to read their minds? Kunosato entered the room. Arimori followed after. When she saw the bandages and tape in the wastebasket, she looked at me angrily. Not on her side. Sounded a little guilty as I said it. All Arimori said was, I know. The look on her face was strange. It was as if she blamed me, but wasn't able to say it aloud, so the air was still delicate between. What is it? Something else you want to say, isn't there? Tell me. Sick of secrets.
そうですね。
Arimori looked at Kunosato for a moment, but evidently it was okay for her to tell me, because she continued.
セリ、尾上セリカは
Are
何
they
て言
in
って
here?
ましたか？
What do you mean?
いろいろ話してましたよね。よく聞こえなかったけど、声はしてたから。
Yeah. I gave them both a brief version of what Serika had told me. Kunosato crossed her arms and thought for a moment, and whispered to herself.
やはりな。
Huh?
お前、どう考えている？
On what?
尾上の言い分だ。
What do you mean? I didn't even think about it. Did she lie? None of the things she had said were things I wanted to hear. Even if I created her, I still can't accept this.
違う。そういうことじゃない。
Kunosato raised her hand to cut me off.
あいつがしたことは許されない。それは どんな理由を振りかざそうと変わらない。私が聞いているのはそういうことではなく、あいつが昨べ事件に関して説明したことだ。お前はどう思った？
What she said last night? What do I think? She told the truth, right? Arimori heard the whole thing and used her powers to check it. But Arimori looked down at her feet and softly said,
宮代先輩、覚えてますか？伊藤先輩と結衣さんの事件の後、私が言ったこと。
is it about her? So do her powers not work on Serika? Huh?
私がもっと注意深く能力を使っていれば、伊藤先輩の言葉がどこかおかしいって気づけたはずだって。
Yeah. I knew Arimori regretted that deeply. What did that have to do with Serika? Oh. Looked at her face and suddenly figured out what she meant. Was there something that Serika had said? Was she lying?
いえ、彼女は確かに真実を語っていました。でも
But it wasn't 100% truth? But what?
なんか変なんです。うまく言えないけど、真実すぎるというか。
She pulled an Umineko. She lied while telling the truth. Too true? What does that mean?
私、ずっと注意深く聞いてました。私の能力って相手の言葉が本当か嘘か分かりますけど、話してる時っていろいろ迷ったり曖昧になったり、自分でも何言ってるか分からなくなったり。とにかく、だから普通は本当のことを話しててもぼんやりとしたグレーみたいな部分が混じってるものなんです。人間が言葉を発するという行為は常に理路整然とした思考の上で行われているわけじゃないからな。
Don't I know it?
理性と感情が入り混じり、時に論旨
Oh, that cuts it off. Ah, okay, who cares?
は飛躍し、会話の道筋はひどく不安定だ。
Kunosato added on to Arimori's explanation.
でも彼女の尾上セリカの言葉は全てまっすぐだったんです。まるでシナリオでも用意されていて、それを読んでいるみたいに。
What did she leave out then?
それにあいつの話そのものにも気に入らない点がある。
Question mark? Kunosato sat down in a chair without asking permission. One thing I know is she was very vague about what happens when they leave Shibuya. Meaning, it might not be what Kunosato thinks it is.
フリージアであいつの話を聞いていたときは、愚かなことに私も頭に血が上っていてな。だがここへ来る途中、ふと疑問が浮かんで、そこから検討をしてみた。だから尾上に思考盗撮されるわけにいかなかったんだ。
Oh, so that's why. Last night, Kunosato-san stayed in the examination room instead of coming up to the living room to talk with everyone else. That was the reason.
本格的におかしいと思ったきっかけは、昨べの電話でのやりとりだ。あいつは私に、お前を渋谷から逃がすように言った。それが、お前を生存させることにつながると。
Yep. Yep. Remembered her saying that. Arimori seemed to be suspicious that her words were too true. It seemed like the genuine truth to me.
確かに、お前を渋谷から逃がすということ自体は筋が通っている。お前にとっての脅威になってしまった佐久間を殺すという選択もな。だが、私にお前を託すというのが矛盾していないか？
Question mark? Didn't know what she meant. What was strange about it?
あいつはどうして私にお前を託したと思う？
Because you know something, right? Something that we don't. That's why she...
それを差し引いてだ。そもそもあいつの存在意義がお前の生存にあるのなら、お前が最後の時を迎える瞬間までずっと一緒にいなくてはならないはずだ。違うか？
Well, I thought she was like on a suicide mission to stop Sakuma to keep him. But that changed because of Dad, because of Sakuma. Arimori suddenly cut me off.
確かに彼女はそう言っていましたし、嘘はありませんでした。でも嘘じゃないのはおかしいと思いませんか？
Huh? I stared at her, uncertain of what she meant.
そう。あいつの言葉は真実に見せかけた嘘かもしれないんだよ。
Kunosato nodded. Lies disguised as truth?
宮代拓を生かし続けるためならば手段は選ばない。あいつは
But how's that a lie? Or what if he gets like arrested and he's alive and he spends the rest of his life in jail? Cut that off. Friday what?
佐久間など所詮末端組織の研究者に過ぎ、そんな小物と差し違えて何になる。ただの無駄死にでしかない。委員会は巨大だ。佐久間を殺したところで宮代の安全など全く保証されない。なのに自分が死んでしまってはどうにもならないだろう。
Or like a repeat of the third melt is going to happen, right? And it's gonna be another like tragic event. Big earthquake. That's why she's giving me to you.
バカを言うな。確かに私はお前をおとりにして委員会の実態を探りたいと思っている。
Thanks for being loyal.
だがお前など不必要になったら簡単に切り捨てる。守り続けるわけがない。
Dot dot dot.
尾上セリカは私の思考を読めるんだぞ。そんなことわからないと思うか。
つまり委員会が本当に宮代先輩を狙っているのなら、彼女は先輩のそばから絶対に離れるはずないんです。
Meaning the committee, either A, the committee isn't involved in this, or B, her definition of keeping Takuro alive is not the same as ours.
自分の手でどこまでも先輩を守ろうとするはず。違いますか？
That's...
そしてもう一つ、決定的におかしなことがある。
Question mark?
あいつはなぜ最初からお前に真実を告げなかった？
From the start?
渋谷地震による昏睡からお前が目覚めた時だよ。
Oh.
お前を生き延びさせることが目的なら真実を隠す必要なんて最初からないんだ。むしろ全てを正直に告げ、能力や委員会に対する情報をお前に与えた方が助かる可能性はずっと高い。
Totally, yeah.
そもそもそういった情報があればお前は一連の殺人事件にだって絶対に首を突っ込まなかっただろう。わざわざ
ね、なんか変でしょ先輩。
But dot dot dot. He was right. I didn't realize it until they told me. Never done it. Dark Serika! I'd never done the things I did if I had known what Serika had told me last. Just like Kunosato. See, look, it's a callback. The morgue. I would have stayed away from the murders. In fact, it might have done something to keep us away from us. If I had known on you, we might still. But why? Why did she hide the truth? It's almost like, oh, what's that knocking sound, by the way? The. I think that's not what it is. What is the point of that? We still haven't gotten the big reveal of what that means.
逆に宮代先輩を危険な目に遭わせようとしてるみたいですよね。
Aomori said the same thing I was thinking. But she couldn't have been lying, right? You were right next to her last night.
いえ、方法がないこともないんです。私の能力の盲点をつく方法が。
A blind spot? Remembered what Aomori had just said. Everything Serika had said was the truth. It was too true. As if she was reading from a script. Oh! I understand now. There is one way. One way to get through Aomori's powers. Was it the same thing that happened to Ito? She's being mind controlled still? Aomori nodded slowly.
はい。私が伊藤先輩の異常を見過ごしてしまった。それと同じ方法なら。
Mind control? That meant there might still be a little bit of hope. In other words, Anoi's mind is being controlled by Dad, by Sakuma. She only did it because she was being controlled, just like Ito? But Aomori didn't look any better when I asked her.
私もそれなら少しは救われるなって思ったんですけど。
あくまでも可能性の一つだ。それにすがるな。
だそうです。
I see. I shorty stumped.
先輩。
妙な期待はするな。それすら罠かもしれん。
It's all a trap. Doubt everything. There is no truth. Yeah, I know. I spoke clearly. Thought I was telling the truth. But Aramori looked down, as if she was in pain. Were they lying just now? Kunasato must have figured out what I was thinking, because her expression became more stern.
私も思考誘導の線は考えている。でも、それも腑に落ちないんだ。佐久間が己の思考を操って、わざわざ仲間割れを演出する理由は何だ？
Who knows? She was right. There's no reason for Dad to do that. If he sent Serika as an assassin, I would have been dead already. The two of us had even been alone together, and Serika had done nothing. Dang it. I knew it. There's no point in hoping that Serika was really just a normal girl who didn't know anything. Should have been able to tell from watching her last night. The way she talked, the way she acted, the way she behaved towards everyone else. Was all different than the Serika I knew. If mind controller was involved, she would have acted like the Serika I knew. Because I hated myself for saying it. She'd been the old Serika, that I couldn't have brought myself to hate her. But I thought about it for a long time, that made me forgiven her. Oh, you don't know you, yeah, forget about it, water under the bridge. Then, like an idiot, would have done exactly what Dad wanted. Only regretted it the instant I was killed.
Miyashiro.
Kunosato's expression was as fierce as ever. Yes?
よく考えろ。もしかすると、これが重大な鍵かもしれない。
Oh, choice!
昨日も聞いたことだが、地震の時、お前は何を望んだ？その結果、尾上がリアルブートされたのだとしたら、あいつに何を求めたんだ？
Did he want her to, like... Trying to figure out how to phrase this, like Takuyuki's, I don't want to call him pathetic, but I mean, he is a little like Takumi in that regard, right? Especially like in his past, like he's human. He freezes up in the big moments when he thinks, you know, he could be the main character. And did he want like Serika to like do that for him? Like the reason she didn't tell him anything and like, you know, did all these murders is so that he could solve them and look so cool, like Takumi did, you know, and you know, like he's talked about it. The public, you know, everyone thought it was him, but actually it wasn't. And that's what's happening to Takuyo. That's literally Serika's masterminding all of this.
本当にあいつはお前を生存させることが目的なのか?
I remembered what it had been like back then. I remember the hellish sights around me, the horrible headache. I remember begging Serika to help me. Serika said it was her goal to keep me alive, save my life, literally. The brief but strong pain in my head pressed my hand to my forehead. Whenever I remember that moment, the pain came back.
大丈夫ですか?
Aramori had been through the same pain, so she was worried. Raised my hand and told her I was okay. I just told her to save me. Couldn't remember if I'd barely been able to get the words out, if I'd shouted them at the top of my lungs, or I'd even said them aloud at all. I can remember asking Serika for help. Still. Is that really what I wished for? Back then Dang it! Special sound effect! There's a new pain. I could feel it throbbing in my temples. Is that memory like being blocked? Pressed my hand harder into my head. My nails dug into my skin. My whole body staggered and I fell to the floor.
Senpai!
There's a warm sensation on my shoulder. Aramori was trying to help me up. Sorry. I'm fine.
そうです。
Aramori led me over to the bed in the corner of the examination room. Wanted to lie down right away, but can't. Shinjo-san said another officer is coming. Told me to hide in Uki.
じゃあ、もういいですから、上に行きましょう。
Nodded and thanked her. She held my shoulder. Forced my body to softly push off her and stand up on its own. Kunosato. Sorry. She sighed in resignation and shook her head. It's fine, she said.
どのみち、尾上がここにいない以上、情報の裏付けは取れないしな。お前の話だと、尾上は今夜10時28分にシアターキューブに現れるということだが。
And why would she tell him where it is? Unless she wanted him to go there and be like a big hero.
残念ながら私では、能力者2人を相手にして立ち回りを演じることはできそうにない。ハンドガンも久しく撃ってないしな。
Don't act like you don't have a D-sword. Aramori turned to Kunosato, surprised that she fired a gun. She's been in America, of course she has. What do you think we do here for fun? Kunosato seemed unusually hesitant, but told us.
仕方がない。尾上の言うことにはどこか矛盾があるとはいえ、今はそれを探る時間も人も全く足りない。とりあえずだが、予定通り新庄さんが戻ってくるのを待って渋谷を脱出する。もし何らかの企みがそこにあるなら乗ってやるまでだ。
Okay. Yuto, oh boy, yeah, okay, Amador, get me out of here. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys next time for some more Chaos Child when, it'll be the climax anytime now. We'll get to the end any day now. Any day. Bye.